During the summer of 2016, I found several Sasquatch prints up in the woods in northern Utah. I've compiled this short narration to kind of show you what I found. This first one is a handprint, and I've added some artwork to make it a little more visible. This was a little lower in elevation than what I was finding most of the prints that you're going to find here, probably around 5,000 feet. I only found evidence of Sasquatch for about a week before they disappeared from this area and didn't come back. This is a footprint in the same general area. You can see the heel and the sides of the footprint pretty well. It's about 15 to 16 inches long. Again, I've added some artwork to make it a little more visible. This was only about a half a mile from the handprint, and on the same day that I found the handprint. This is the first footprint I found. It's about 20 inches long and very narrow, so somewhat unusual. I've added some artwork, which is not the best, but hey, those are the skills I got. Anyway, it was located in an area where a lot of trees and that had been moved around, and I went back frequently. And soon after this, by about August, all of this activity ended. Here's a print from a very large individual. It's very deep, very wide, approximately 16 to 17 inches long. I've added some artwork here. It was located next to a wigwam structure that I'm showing in another video. This is very interesting. It's also not very far from some water in an area that I saw more activity than probably any other. Here's my grandson, Ender. He can't believe I'm spending all this time on this Sasquatch nonsense and not spending more time playing with him. And here's what I find most of the time. Disturbances that may or may not be tracks, probably are tracks, but are not really clear enough to be definitive. I would say I find 30 or 40 of these for every clear track. I took a photograph of a teenage girl's foot. It's about 10 inches long, and notice the heel is more narrow, the width of the pad of her foot, and you can see the arch in their foot here. Now I compared this to a young Sasquatch print of about the same length. Notice how much wider the heel is. You definitely see the mid-tarsal break, and the pad of the Sasquatch foot is also wider than her foot. I've added some artwork to make the image clearer. These photos of the Sasquatch were taken by Nathan Rio. I have not been able to reach him to get permission on this. If he has any objections to this, I will certainly remove his photographs, though his photographs have not been copyrighted from what I've seen. Anyway, this is interesting and a very nice comparison. Now, at the end here, I've also added a couple of footprints that Nathan Rio has photographed and put in his videos. And you notice they're clearer than a few that I've got. Well, he's done a lot more of this than I have, so what can I say? So this is a little compilation. I've got one last view of a photograph from earlier in the video. But this is something that anybody who gets out in the woods and wants to walk for 20 or 30 days during the summer should be able to find, at least in the forests of northern Utah.